Imagine being forever typecast, your past success overshadowing your present capabilities. That's the challenge Donnie Wahlberg faced after New Kids on the Block, NKOTB. But he didn't just overcome it. He's thriving, juggling acting, producing, music, and even hospitality. Now with the Blue Bloods spinoff Boston Blue on the horizon and NKOTB's Vegas residency back in full swing, Wahlberg is opening up about how his boy band days surprisingly prepared him for portraying Detective Danny Reagan, and what it's like to be directed by his on-screen sister, Bridget Moynahan. From his Toronto high-rise perch, Donnie Wahlberg, ever the optimist, beans about the upcoming premiere of Boston Blue and the return of NKOTB's Las Vegas residency. While his wife, Jenny McCarthy, might prescribe a relaxing day of bed rot, Wahlberg, a self-confessed workaholic, dedicates his rare downtime to engaging with outlets like The Hollywood Reporter. This is par for the course for the man who sends virtual hugs, twugs at lightning speed, breaks Guinness World Records for selfies, and gushes about watching his drummer son Elijah perform, all while managing a multifaceted career spanning television, music, family, and various business ventures. I thought I was used to it, but this year was really difficult, far more challenging than any time during my decade and a half doing Blue Bloods while managing my part in New Kids, Wahlberg, now 56, confesses. He explains that Blue Bloods allowed him to compartmentalize, focusing on NKOTB during breaks. But now I've added so many hats to my hat collection. I already had a lot and was stretching them pretty thin. He vividly describes a day packed with a Boston Blue fitting at 6 a.m., an NKOTB wardrobe fitting at 10 a.m., show run-throughs, actor auditions, and script notes. I haven't come up for air yet, he jokes, highlighting his relentless schedule. Wahlberg's passion for keeping the Blue Bloods universe alive is palpable, especially after the show's surprising cancellation by CBS. The series, known for its heartwarming family dynamics, compelling police drama, and beloved cast, had become a Friday night staple and one of television's most watched scripted shows. The heart of the show, arguably, was the Reagan family's Sunday dinners, which also marked Wahlberg's debut in 2010. It was the most important day in the show's history because we had to establish our characters and take chances in a new environment, he recalls. He emphasizes the need to fully commit to his character, even if it meant ruffling feathers. To play my character who was disruptive and argumentative while sitting inches from Tom Selleck, I had to commit without worrying about stepping on toes or making other actors uncomfortable. But here's where it gets controversial. Wahlberg reveals that his experience with NKOTB, especially their reunion in 2008, played a crucial role in preparing him for his role as Danny Reagan. Jumping in full throttle became a mantra, something he learned after NKOTB's 1994 disbandment, when he ventured into acting with roles in films like The Sixth Sense and shows like Boomtown. Reuniting and touring from 2008, getting into that routine of showing up every day, performing and being in the moment, definitely helped going into Blue Bloods. So much happens at a concert with connections being made or meet and greets that there's no time to think about what I could have done differently. I didn't go on the bus every night thinking I could have sung that note better. He elaborates, the New Kids reunion prepared me for what I'd need to be Danny Reagan for so long. I couldn't take the work home or leave thinking, I could have done that. It was a lot of growth because I used to perseverate on what I could have done differently. This suggests that the high-pressure live performance environment of a boy band, surprisingly, cultivated the mental resilience and presence needed for a demanding acting role. Do you think other performers might benefit from similar experiences outside their primary field? Despite confidently predicting renewals each year, Wahlberg admits to a period of denial after the show's cancellation. He waited for other networks to swoop in, while devoted fans known as blockheads launched a petition to save the show, garnering over 30,000 signatures. And this is the part most people miss. Wahlberg was simultaneously fighting his own battle behind the scenes. Months after filming Wrapped, he presented a detailed proposal to CBS to keep Blue Bloods alive. We were halfway into the first sentence, and they went, "It's not happening. But we have an idea for something else." He recounts. Despite his persistence, CBS remained firm, citing economic realities, including the financial strains of COVID and the actors' strike, as well as the show's high production costs. However, CBS offered a lifeline. The Blue Bloods universe could continue through a spin-off. "If I really wanted to keep Blue Bloods alive, I had to do this show," Wahlberg concluded. Encouraged by McCarthy, Wahlberg embraced Boston Blue, which follows Danny as he investigates his son, Sean, played by Mika Amundsen, taking over from Andrew Teresiano, in Boston and subsequently joins the Boston PD, partnering with Detective Lena Silver, Sonequa Martin-Green. People say, it's not believable Danny would move to Boston, but as a parent, it's very believable once you find out why, Wahlberg explains. The question is, what would make him stay? That's where Sonequa comes in. The chemistry between Wahlberg and Martin-Green was instant, even over Zoom. Martin-Green, known for her role in Star Trek Discovery, expresses her excitement about playing a character who is so grounded, assured, and confident, adding, "I also love there's an element of joy with her." Now let's talk about diversity. Martin-Green also highlights the more diverse cast of Boston Blue, addressing past criticisms of Blue Bloods. Wahlberg points out that, ironically, Blue Bloods had a remarkably diverse audience. "I met fans from all walks of life. The Reagan family was relatable to so many people, even if you weren't Irish Catholic and from Brooklyn," he says. "If you had a large family, you could relate. There are so many different law enforcement families. And it was wonderful to tell the Reagan story, and now it's wonderful to tell another family's story." For Martin-Green, representation is paramount, especially after her groundbreaking role as the first Black female captain in a Star Trek franchise. She emphasizes that both shows aim to go beyond superficial diversity. "It wasn't something we hit people over the head with in Star Trek. It was just shown," she says. "You got to see people represent diversity, but also be fantastic versions of that. That's the case with Boston Blue, too, and that's important, because it's not just about seeing yourself, but seeing yourself in a bright light. That makes greater impact." Do you agree that representation in media should focus on showcasing excellence within diverse communities? Or should it primarily aim to reflect everyday experiences? Boston Blue incorporates many elements that made Blue Bloods beloved, from Sunday dinners and sibling squabbles to wisdom from Reverend Peters, Ernie Hudson. It also offered Wahlberg a chance to reconnect with his Boston roots. NKOTB spent their formative years in Beantown, and Wahlberg remains deeply connected to the city. His local celebrity even influenced the decision to film Boston Blue in Toronto. "Filming in Boston was the most fun I've ever had on set, but it was difficult because I took 10,000 selfies a day. Duckboats were driving by every 10 minutes, he says. I might as well have been a statue in Boston. It was wonderful for the cast to get familiar with Boston and my connection to the city. But it also became obvious that 9 months filming there might not be sustainable. In the premiere, airing on CBS, viewers will discover which Blue Bloods alumni joined Danny in Boston. Wahlberg is also thrilled that Bridget Moynahan, who played his on-screen sister Erin, directed an episode. Just when I think I have my storyline broken down and understand what other characters are doing and I'm doing as a producer, she's like, but there's another layer. And I'm like, I didn't think about that. He says, she's so thorough and comes at it from an actor's standpoint, but also from having been part of Blue Bloods, understanding an ensemble, and knowing how to mine each character. Even before Boston Blue premieres, Wahlberg is already brainstorming potential spin-offs. What's Aaron gonna do? What Janko up to? I'm doing my part to answer those questions in Boston Blue, but that doesn't mean there isn't room to expand the universe beyond Boston, he says. Meanwhile, blockheads are hoping that NKOTB will also expand their horizons, with many seeing the end of Blue Bloods as an opportunity for the group to tour internationally. For now, their focus is on the New Kids on the Block, The Right Stuff Las Vegas residency. There's a want for new kids to go around the world, and the hope was after Vegas, That will be what we look at next, and Boston Blues not changing that, assures Wahlberg. Ultimately, starring in and executive producing Boston Blue is a triumph for Wahlberg, who once doubted he'd find professional fulfillment after NKOTB's initial split. It's like you're on a fast train, but one day it stops, and if you're not prepared, it's difficult, he told Huffington Post in 2013. The public has an opinion of who you are and may never accept you as anything else. So, how does it feel to have shattered the boy band label and gained recognition as an actor, director, and producer? Wahlberg pauses, reflecting on his journey. If I can stop and feel it for a minute, it's surreal. Often, we set out to prove things to others, and ultimately, we're proving it to ourselves. When the New Kids came off that high, my motivation was showing people I'm more than that guy from that band. I wanted to show the world I was a capable music producer who could make a hit record, since no one took the New Kids seriously. He adds, and I did it. I produced my brother Mark Wahlberg's record, but the morning I got the call from Jimmy Iovine saying, "Good Vibrations" is #1, I didn't feel like telling the world I told you so. I just thought, you did it. I knew you could. It was weird because my motivation was proving people wrong, but in truth, I had to show myself. Finally, he concludes, the best part of my career now isn't that I'm doing what I always wanted or proving anyone wrong or right. It's that I really like what I'm doing and the way I get to do it. I can still go to the supermarket. Except in Boston? Exactly. But I can walk down the street, take photos with fans, then say, I gotta go get my monster cereals for Halloween now. And if McCarthy has her way, he'll enjoy them during some well-deserved bed rot. What do you think about Wahlberg's journey? Did you ever doubt his ability to transcend the boy band label? Share your thoughts in the comments below.